Alright, what's up, Zids? Ramadan Mubarak. Got a 2013 BMW 328i xDrive f30 chassis. I'm doing the oil pressure sensor. This is the BMW part. It's $65 or $70 at BMW. Might be more depending on your area. That's the part number. The low oil pressure sign came up. It just said low oil pressure, and you know, obviously it's either the oil pump, which is a huge job, or it's the sensor. In my case, it was the sensor. Again, I'm not a BMW mechanic, nowhere near it, but I did have it diagnosed, and that was the case. So instead of spending $900, $1,100 at the BMW place or at your local shop, I decided to do it myself. There was a video done. A guy named Perry had like a funny Jamaican accent. Really nice video that he made, but he didn't go all the way in depth, in detail. Me being a little bit mechanically inclined, I had to figure out the things that he didn't film. But again, big props to him for actually being the only one out there that did an oil pressure sensor on this generation, this body style 328. With that first thing, with that being said, so thanks to him, first thing, remove the cover, take the oil cap off, and then pop this out, set it aside. You'll have the engine looking like this. Sensor is down in there, and it is, where is the sensor? It is a dirty sensor, it's in there. A couple things in the way. He removed a lot of things. Honestly, I didn't, and it worked for me. So first thing, this sensor out. Second thing, the mass airflow sensor out. Once that comes out, you can move this pipe up like that, but not for now. You need a pick like this. Okay, pick like this. You are gonna go, see this little ring right here, you're gonna pull that ring. This is something that he didn't show me. I didn't know shit about BMW before. So as I pulled that ring out, you see that whole pipe just slid down, and that's what locks it in place. Right now I'm locking it. So you pull that out, move it down, and then I'm doing this video in reverse, by the way, so I'm trying to figure this out, but it will be helpful to some of you. I've already done the job, but I'm doing it in reverse. So I'm doing like the first video last, if that makes any sense, because I didn't have time to do it first. So the next step would be remove this sensor. Okay, so now we've removed 1, 2, 3, and by now this charge pipe, this plastic pipe right here that runs all the way down, this would be moved out the way, and you can just kind of shove it down. Then you will remove these 4 10mm. Exactly how. See, he didn't show that either. You need a skinny, there's no other way to do this. You need a skinny 1/4 inch drive socket and wrench. Okay, skinny, because you cannot use your average socket on this. There's not enough space, as you can see. So, and also 2 different socket sizes. You need this one, which is a long one, and then where's the other one? And then this one, which is a short one. So for the top bolt right here, you will use the short one. Okay, so you put it in, and then lefty loosey, and that'll come out. For the bottom one right there, you will use the long one. Okay, for the top one up here, you will use the short one, and for the bottom one, bottom right, you will use the long one, long socket to get it out. So the only socket I had to use the short one for was this one, because of this pipe being in the way. So that's that. Now it's easier, you know, obviously it's easier said than done, but when you put that in there, crack them open about halfway, crack it open. This one's hard to find, but feel it. Okay, everything's about feel. So here's the top one. Run your finger down. Oh, I felt it. And then guide the socket in it, and then left loose, and get that done. Once those 4 come out, this whole little we'll call it a throttle body will come out. And once that's out, fast forward later in the video, remember how I told you I'm doing this in reverse, I can't really do it right now. Fast forward later, you'll see you could, once you move this, he had removed this sensor, and he had actually disconnected this what's it called, this vacuum line here. I didn't do any of that. Okay, I just removed these 4 bolts, moved it aside, shoved it down in there, and it was all the access I needed to get in there. And then I've already done a video on how to get that, so this is just the first part. And then, like I said, I'll put these together in chronological order, sorry, and then we'll figure it out. So chronological, but not bad. 2013 328i xdrive. This one's an xdrive, and I'm doing the oil pressure sensor. Again, not hard, but it is very challenging. Not hard, just real challenging, and it takes a lot of patience. And if you don't have a good back or bad knees like me, it's going to be a little bit tough because you're sitting there bent over and your leg is straight over this. And I already tried to sit on it. Not a good deal. Not made for a lot of weight over here, but easy to do. Just take some time. Don't give up. You will get it, and save yourself $1,000. Worst case scenario, it's okay. You know, it's not a failure. You tried. Take it to a mechanic and get it done. All right, now here we are. I've already taken this part, but I'm gonna show you real quick. Here's the part, oil pressure sensor. Very important to make sure that the O-ring that's in there, which is right there, comes off. Mine, when I took this off, the O-ring was still stuck. You see where the hole is right there? It's still stuck in there. So you gotta reach your finger around like inside here carefully and get that O-ring off. You don't want a double O-ring when you put the new piece. And here's the BMW part number right there. That is for the new oil pressure sensor. All right, let's get back now. All right, you see, let me grab a long screwdriver. Give me 1 second. I'm not editing shit, by the way, so just bear with me. All right. Now, I am looking from, here's the right fender, okay? I am hovering above the right fender, so okay, right there. And I'm looking at the engine from the side. The best way to put the 24 millimeter socket or 24 socket is through these two wires. You see these two? Part the C's, just open it up like that. And when you do that, I put a 1/2 inch extension as well. All I did was I parted the C's, split them joints, and then put it in. One thing you do have to remember is obviously there will be a connector on here, which is right here. See that, right? Can't really show you. Right, that connector right there. It is positioned like this. So the tab that you press is right here at the bottom on the right. Okay, so this is inside, the connector's in, you press the tab on the right hand side on the very tip and then pull it out. It's gonna take you a few turns, I promise you. It was very annoying, but you pick at it and you get it and you finally get it, and then like I said, you split the two wires right there, split the C's, put the 24 in, and then it's not on there tight. I don't know what the torque specs are. I'm not a BMW mechanic by any stretch, but it wasn't on there tight, so I put that in there. Now that was in, then I slid my 1/2 inch ratchet. You have to have a skinnier one like this. I tried with this bulky one, but it didn't work. So I put that in there, and then left, loose. Once you get it loose, you can put your hand in there, get it out. Use the sensor part and just keep twisting. But this is what it looks like when it's out. Next thing, I'll be showing you how to put it in. Actually, I'm busted. I'm not going to be showing you how to do it, but it's pretty easy. Just pretend like this is the new piece, okay? One more thing I did forget, clean the area. You see, that's where it goes in, that hole right there, that threaded hole. Clean that area pretty good. I put a bunch of rags here and I used brake cleaner. Probably shouldn't do that because then I had to blow it all off with air. You don't want to get anything in there, so just go around it, around the hole where that's supposed to go with a rag, and get that out. And again, make sure the old O-ring comes off. If it's not stuck on the old piece, then it's definitely stuck in there. You don't want that in there. Now, part the C's again through, again, remember, right fender, I'm hovering over, I'm looking directly at the side of the engine. Okay, those two wires, put the piece in between, thread it in by hand first, and then just like you took it out, put it in. Dude, I don't know the torque specs. I can't specify this enough to you. I really don't, but it was not tight. So just as soon as it's tight, maybe 1/4 turn, and then you're done. And then reverse of everything, put the connections back, and maybe if I'm not tired, I'll show you how to do all that. But that should really be it. It's not that bad of a job. It does take some time, and it does bend your back, I'll tell you that. No diddy, it does. It killed my back, man. I was bent over this car for a while, but it was pretty good. It feels good to do it. It's like $1,200 job at the BMW store or something crazy like that, so you don't want to do that. Quick tip, you see this gasket here, this rubber gasket, see how it's rubber? That was actually stuck, that was caked on here on the throttle body, and it didn't look right. So I'm like, is this part of it? And I moved it and fell. So that is supposed to be inside this groove. You see the groove on the right there, you see that groove? So I'm putting it back in. So just keep that in mind, that rubber O-ring, whatever it is, needs to go in that groove, and then you can wiggle your way back up and line up the bolts, and then put the four bolts back in. So keep that in mind. All right, see how I've got that back in? You line up that, and then you're going to put in one at a time. So you're going to line this up and put it in one at a time, just like we did in the first part of the video, and I showed you how to do that. We're going to go ahead and reinstall. Now remember, at this point, the only two connectors that, other than obviously the connector for the actual sensor, is this one, which goes here, and this one, which is up here. Those are the only two things I disconnected. Oh, and where's homeboy? Let's see. I tucked it in right here. There it is. Okay, see right there. And this guy that goes right onto the charge pipe or whatever this is called. So remember, that's a 1, 2, and then 3. 1, 2, and then 3. This is definitely the hardest part about putting it all back, is getting these 4 screws in. The top 2 are real easy, right? Because they're right there. But the bottom 2, here's what I did. Obviously I can't do this because I'm filming it alone. But I used my left hand, the other hand, and I found where the finger was, where the hole was. And then with my right hand, I went in, didn't, make sure you don't drop it, went in, kind of used my memory, like, okay, I just felt the hole, and then put it in, push this one all the way in. It feels like it's nothing there because it goes all the way in, and then you tighten it. And then you tighten it with the longer extension, just like that. And same with the other side. This one was the hardest, the bottom one right there. I used my left hand again to find where the hole was, and then finally put that in. And then you have to kind of manipulate this charge pipe, like when I was doing the bottom one right there, I had to move this up, and when I was doing the top one, I had to move it down. So use your common sense, it's pretty easy. And when you're tightening, same thing. So when you're tightening the not 1, 2, not 3, the bottom one on the corner over there, I put the ratchet from the bottom underneath the charge pipe. You see it? You'll see it. You see it right there? Okay, I put it underneath. I use my left hand, which I'm filming with right now, to hold the top of the 10 millimeter to guide it, and then my right hand was just going up and down to tightening that. So that's how I did that. So use your left hand and hold it from here, put it in, hold it, and then use your right hand to just keep going up and down.